Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody had a great day. This is your boy Coach P here live here with Sports Talk Live here with Coach P. I want to again thank you all for all the support that you've been giving me for the last couple of weeks and months over the year for is me starting my sports talk show live here. And again, I appreciate you all for tuning in and 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 really getting good information and I really have some good coaches that's coming on. I'm waiting on my buddy to tune in now. Zack Green from South Aiken, in Aiken, South Carolina. He's a good friend of mine. I met him a couple years ago. A young coach that's in this. So Coach Zack, let me know you're on, and I'll tag you. Okay, you're on. Okay, buddy. Let me see if I can make sure I send this thing the right way now, Zack. All right. And now, Zach, I'm sending it to you now. So hopefully you get it and you send it back. And we'll get going here. Again, thank you all for tuning in to the Sports Talk Live show here with Coach P. And I got
Got
it.
me.
I finally got it right, Zach.
What's up, Coach P? What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, brother? What's going on, man?
All is well. All is well. How about yourself?
Man, I'm good, man. Working hard, trying to stay away from this COVID, man. This thing is something else,
Yeah,
man.
yes, man. Yeah, you gotta stay safe, but I'm
Yeah.
glad you're well, man.
But Zach, man, I'm glad to have you here on my show, man. I tell you, when I was talking to Coach Terrence from Denmark, and I saw your name on it, I was thinking I couldn't remember the name. I said, "What is the guy name from South Aiken?" And all of a sudden, when I was talking to Terrence, your name flashed at the bottom. I was like, "Gosh, that's him right there, man. I wanted to get him on, man, because I like to get them young coaches on, man, because I've been in your same shoe before as a young coach starting off, man. But before we get into anything, man, introduce yourself to the Sports Talk Live here, and let everybody know who you are."
All right. Well, first, Coach, I want to appreciate you having me on. I don't take this opportunity for granted. I truly appreciate it. But a little bit about myself. My name is Zachary Green. I'm the head women's basketball coach at South Aiken High School. I'm going to my fourth year as the head coach there. I'm originally from Swansea, South Carolina, a little small town outside of Orangeburg. I grew, born and raised. I went to high school, Swansea High School. Once I left Swansea High School, I ended up attending Lander University, and where I got my undergraduate in exercise science. And after I graduated, I began my educational career career as an educator at C.A. Johnson High School. So that's pretty much how I got started.
Well, Coach, again, man, I appreciate you taking the time out. I know you had practice with your son and everything, and I appreciate you taking our time to come here live with me on my talk show. I have a co-host, Coach Sean Grant. I don't know if he's going to be in tonight or not, but he usually, when he comes on, he usually type things down to the bottom and everything. But usually, if you can see it, you can go back and look at it. And then I also I download it to YouTube, and
Okay.
and when I download to YouTube, coaches from all over the place sees it. And me and you talked about that earlier this week, and so we're gonna go ahead and get right into it, man. But Coach, what actually would inspire you to want to be a head coach?
Um, just being around great mentors. Once I first got to C.A. Johnson High School, I was teaching athletic training and sports fitness management.
Right.
And at the time, Marlon Smith was the head women's basketball coach. Jarvis was the head men's basketball coach. So for the first week of school, when I first started, I would just go by to practice to kind of, just to check them out. Marlon Smith was my assistant coach. Well, he was assistant coach when I was at Swansea. So I knew him from back home. So
Okay.
whenever I got there and I would, go through, because a lot of players were in my class. And you know how players are like, yeah, I can play this, I can do this. So I was just dropping by to check them out, and I was just, I was there for about a week. I was going to the women's practice, and then I leave and I'll go to the men's practice, just kind of check them out. And just one day, one of the ladies on the team named Caitlin Pickens, and she ended up going to Coker College, and she ended up it was after practice, and she just getting up shots. So I'm hanging in the gym and just rebounding for her, and then start giving her little pointers and things like that. And the way that she was engaged in what I was teaching her or whatnot, she added to her game. And then later on that night, I reached out to Coach Smith and asked him, if he needed any assistance with anything, that I was available. And he welcomed me with open arms, and that's how I get started.
Now, are you talking about Jake Smith?
No, I'm talking about Marlon Smith.
Okay. I thought you were talking about that big head. I thought you were talking about that big head coach Jake Smith.
Coach Jake Smith, man.
Okay, man. Good guy, though. Good guy.
Yeah.
Good coach.
Yeah.
But coach,
mentor.
so all of these the years that you've been in it, and you got the job as a head coach, was this your first job at South Aiken, or you was at Swansea first now?
Well, I was. I think it was my first head coaching job. Yeah, I did.
This was your first head coaching job here?
Head coaching job. I did. I served as a assistant coach for like 3 years at C.A. Johnson.
Right.
And after my third year there, I decided I wanted to be a head coach. So
Let me ask you this here: when you was an assistant coach, and I'm gonna put you in a bind here. And when you were assistant coach and the coaches made moves and stuff, and did you ever think in your mind, why would you do that, or why would you do this, or I would have done it like this? Did you ever think that in your mind?
To a degree, because I if it was something that I didn't quite understand, I would always ask questions. I always would ask, Coach, why would you do this? And then he would break it down to me for be able to understand. Because of course he's looking at, as assistant coach, I'm an extra set of eyes, so I'm looking at something different than what he's looking at. So if he and vice versa. So whenever I ask him, well, Coach, why you do this or whatnot, and he would tell me or what. And I always went with what he had. I always, made sure I supported whatever decision he made. So.
Right. Because I tell you, man, I remember when I first started coaching basketball, Coach Zack, when I first started coaching basketball, I coached at a middle school. They gave I backed that up. I started coaching at a rec program, and they gave me a bunch of little kids. I'm telling you what, Coach, man, listen. This is one of the reasons why I don't have hair as a date, because those kids ran me butt crazy.
Oh,
but
yeah, I believe
about 3 or 4 weeks into it, though, I'm gonna be honest with you. About 3 or 4 weeks into it, I said to myself, and I was a young guy, and I just got out of high school, went to play tried out for a couple of rookie league baseball team. Things didn't work out. In 2 or 3 years, I came back home and I said, well, what I want to do is I want to coach in my community. I want to coach, kids in my community, in my town, in my city. But I never actually thought about basketball. It all had been baseball, because baseball was my thing. I love baseball. So it happened that when I got my first coaching job at the rec center, I thought that they were really trying my nerves. Like, I'm gonna try you out and see what you can do. And after that year was over with, I was actually coached to middle school at one of the high schools in our community, in our town. And I went over to Ruffin High School to coach middle school girls basketball. No, back to that. They asked me to coach the middle school boys program. And I said, yeah, I'd be glad to do it. I'd be glad to do it. I want to get my foot in the door some type of way. But I'm thinking the whole time when I say, yeah, what do I know about basketball? I mean, I don't know nothing about basketball. So what I did was, I called a couple of veteran coaches and I asked them some questions. And they told me what to do. And Zack, and this is the funny thing about it. I got the job that Monday. And didn't know that the first game was that Thursday. And I'm thinking, I got a week or a month to get ready, and I got this all together. And the AD comes in there, coach, hey man, you ready for Thursday? I said, what is Thursday? Your first game. First game. I said, man, I don't even know who on the team. You know. Then the next day they tell me, say, well, coach, can you come in the office? We need to talk to you. I'm thinking, okay, something major doesn't happen. Listen, man, we want you to be, definitely be the boys coach, but we got a major problem here. We need a girls coach also. So I'm thinking, why are y'all telling me this? So middle school in the 90s, coach, I'm
Yeah.
coaching girls and boys on a salary for $400. I'm thinking, what the world I done got myself into here now? You know what I'm saying? But it was actually fun. It was actually fun, And I seen our co-host just signed in on Tron Grant, and you'll see some things in the bottom. But Zach, before we go again, y'all, I have my good friend here, Coach Zack Green here from South Aiken High School in Aiken, South Carolina, and he is here with Coach P here on Sports Talk Live. And also, you can look at Sports Talk. You can send me an email if you would like to get on my program at sportstalkwithcoachp.com. At gmail.com if you want to get on. And you also, I have a YouTube page at Sports Talk Live with Coach P. And Coach, if you can share if you want to. And like I said, I have a lot of good friends out there and a lot of people from different places. But Coach, I want to ask you a key question here. Last year during the pandemic and a lot of stuff that was happening, and as for a young coach, because I had a lot of young coaches on, how did you react to all this stuff that was going on? Did you get nervous or just want to give up? Or how did you go about it?
Well, first off, I want to send my thoughts and prayers to everyone that's being affected by it. I know I have players who've been, affected by it. They have family members that passed because of it, and my thoughts and prayers are with them. But it's a tricky situation. It's been a point last year where we had to shut down, and for me, the way I operate, I'm always thinking, okay, how can we take this and take this and use it to an advantage? So whenever we shut down, what I did was we still had practice. We did everything virtual. So we would practice, the same time. We did footwork, ball handling, and we did film. And we would do that every day just like we were in practice. That way we would feel, in the groove, and basketball is mental.
Right,
so
right.
it's kind of training their eyes to see certain things.
Right.
So when we get on the court, they have seen it before. We went through it. So I would just like basketball practice without actually physically being
right.
We definitely.
So how did that, I that's the first I heard of that. That's why I like to tell people the reason why I bring on different coaches to say things, because I guarantee a coach out there listening is like, oh, I might try that. So did the girls really bite into it for as they liked it, or some of them did you feel them say, well, they're really getting something out of it, or did y'all come back to play?
Yeah, we was preparing to come back to play.
Right. Okay.
I told my girls, whenever we got the message that we would be, shut down. I let them know that, okay, we down for 2 weeks, all right, but we still got to keep this thing going, because whenever we get or whatnot, we got a game, so we're gonna continue working. I mean, it's all part of adversity. Like stuff is gonna come up or whatnot, but and then as a coach, you got to monitor and adjust and adapt to certain situations that happen. So for myself and my team and my staff, what we did was we set it up. Okay, we got practice at this at this time, and the girls bought in. Everybody was logged in. Everybody did the workout. Had my couple days I would lead the workouts. Couple of days I had assistant coach, she would lead the workout, and then And then we have a film session, you know, breaking down on our next opponent, which kind of, like I say, was mentally preparing us to, you know, for the game. And like, I always feel like no matter what happens, you know, you still have to keep going. You have to find a way to keep going, and you know, utilizing the resources, and you know, an idea to be able to keep the train rolling. So that's what we did, and it worked out well for us.
Good. Well, Coach, let me. I got a question here from Coach Sean. Some odd reason I can't see. Can you see Coach Sean's question down to the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Answer that question right there. I can see at the beginning of it, but some odd reason is cutting mine off, and he's my co-host, and he usually sending questions down, but some odd reason I can't see it. If you want to answer that question, you can.
Okay. Well, the way it was, the way to answer the question, for its preparation, if for example, last year we played Midland Valley on that Tuesday, and then so we prepping for Midland Valley that Friday, and then we got shut down. So now we had to start preparing for who we'll play next week. Well, 2 weeks. Right. So kind of like, okay, it's a lot of adjusting. Like, okay, we was looking forward to playing them again on that Friday, but okay, due to unforeseen circumstances, you know, we preparing for another team. So you got to switch gears. So it's getting back into the lab, you know, doing your homework. I was like, okay, what's next? All right, this is what we have. This is what's in front of us. Let's go through, you know, everything we need to do to prepare for this, and went from there. But it was kind of like it's adjustment. It's always about adjustment.
Right. So, now let me ask you this here. Jump into obviously you didn't get to do no summer workouts on last year. This year, how did did you get to do any summer workouts with your girls this year? Camps or anything?
Yeah, we was able to do some summer workouts this year, which was great. It was because this year I have a lot of new players coming in, and they gave me to, you know, to work with them and kind of build on their skills and their IQ and everything to be able to get them ready for the upcoming season. So it was good for them. Well, it's good for us to be able to get that work in this summer.
Right. Now, do any of your girls play AAU basketball?
Yes, I have a few that play AAU basketball.
Now, let me ask you as a coach, what do you think of AAU basketball? Tell me, I need to know from you, Coach Zack, what do you think of AAU basketball, and what do you think it does for I can't speak for no other kids. Do you see if your kids play AAU ball where they're getting better at?
For the organization, I believe it falls on the organization.
There you go.
It falls on. It's the organization. So, every AAU team is different. You know, so some may just got to get money, and some are really truly trying to build. You know, and you know, teach our students to play. So I advise my parents to, you know, to keep an eye out on things like that, because whenever I talk to my players that's playing AAU, I ask them, are they getting better? Right. Are you getting better? So if they're getting better, then that means they're on the right track. But you know, if they're not getting better, if they just, you know, just out just to play and just play, then that's for me as a coach or whatnot. That's the issue.
Well, Coach, man, I tell you that's very knowledge to know. But do you, in the summertime, you know, when your girls go play AAU, do you go see them play, or you just rely on people telling you what they do, or do you get out there and try? You know, I know summertime, you know, you try to enjoy yourself and your family, but you know, there's some time that, you know, you say, well, I want to go see what my girls playing at. Did you get any chance to go see them play this summer?
Oh, yeah, I got a chance to go see them play this summer. So whenever there's some whenever they AAU season comes up,
Mm-hmm.
find out, okay, what organization that they're with. Send me your schedule. I want to see your schedule. So whenever they never know what game that
There you go.
that I show. I'll never
Right.
tell that show because I want them to be completely focused on getting better and working on the things that they need to work on, regardless if I'm there or not. So, but I do make sure that I go in there and see, if they're progressing and how they are adjusting to the different environment of playing a different skill set or playing with certain people,
Right.
and kind of, growing from there.
Let me ask you a question. This is another go back to COVID because Coach Sean just asked, and I was about to ask that same question. Did COVID hurt any of your players that you might have that's be getting ready to either play college ball or potentially go play? I mean, I understand, the season was cut short last year and stuff. Did you have any player that, a senior that's probably got to get a good look if they'd probably played a full season?
Well, for my seniors, it didn't affect our seniors much because my seniors end up getting their their commitments later on in the year. So it wasn't during that summer period. They were still working on trying to earn their to earn a scholarship, and
Right.
so it didn't affect because I've had one go to Lander University uh, throughout
Okay.
the so it didn't affect um, during the summer.
Good, good. I see Coach Tim Baldwin just tapped in. I don't know if you know Coach Baldwin from Goose Creek High School.
Okay.
He's a legend, boy. I tell
Yeah,
you, he's
yeah,
a legend, man. I tell you, he's a legend.
yeah.
Uh, um, but Coach, and you said we talked about for as hurting. How many seniors? I hate to say this because I know you have not picked your team yet, and but in your mind you can vision, who you got coming back, who you losing, your potential. I hate to say your star players because I don't like to put no star on nobody. But can you tell me, tell the people out there, uh, who can be some of your next players that stepping up that you think has got a very great potential and make a difference for your team this year?
Okay. Well, I have Anaja Jones. She's coming in with great experience, and she can score on all three levels. So we're very excited to have her to be
Good.
a contribution to our program. We have a rising sophomore, Jakaya McDuffie. She actually was starting point guard for me last year, so she was able to get a year up under her belt, running the offense and getting adjusted to varsity level. And I also have a 6'1" post named Lakota McFlurry, Flirty, and she's coming in. She got good feet, soft hands, and I'm ready. I'm really excited for this group. This is a fresh group for me, so I'm ready. I'm ready to continue building and continue work. But I'm definitely excited for the potential that this group has.
Good, good. Before we talk again, this is your boy Coach P here live here with Sports Talk Live here with Coach Zack Green from South Aiken High School. Again, thank you all for tuning in. I want to say this before we get started again. Tim Baldwin from Goose Creek. Please do not log off because when I get finished with Coach Zack Green here in the next couple of minutes here, I want you to come on. If you can, give me a thumbs up or just say, yeah, you can, then I'm going to tag you in when I get finished with Coach Zack Green. But I ain't rushing him, but I'm just letting him know when he get finished, I want Coach Tim to come on and round up the night for me. Coach Tim, if you can, as I'm talking, I'll look to the bottom. And if you give me a thumbs up, I hope so. That's a year. But again, this is Coach P here live here with Coach Zack Green here with Sports Talk Live here with Coach P. You can also find me on YouTube. Thanks, Tim. On YouTube at Sports Talk Live with Coach P. And Coach Zack, usually when I get finished, my wife downloads it to YouTube. And Coach Zack, you'll be all over the world then. You'll be, besides Aiken, you'll be all over the place, man.
I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it.
Coach Tim, you are not getting paid, but I will buy you a hamburger. Okay, you're not getting paid, but I will buy you a hamburger. Coach Ron, you hear that, right? We don't pay anybody. DA said we cannot pay anybody. That's our attorney for our sports talk show. But Coach Zack, man, I'm glad to have you on, man, and I'm glad finally get you on. I met you a good while ago. Me and you referee, I think, a basketball game at Collin County.
Yeah.
And I tell you, man, I told Coach Smith after that, I said, man, I don't know that guy, but I just met him, refereeing. I said, that's a good guy. He said, yeah, he's gonna make a good head coach one day. And it just happened the next year, bam, you got a job at South Aiken High School, man. I mean, that's a what, 4A school, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that's tough. A lot of people think, if you begin coaching, you should start at a 1A, 2A. But for you to jump straight into a 4A program, man, that's awesome, man, and awesome. And I always see, your highlights and stuff like on Facebook and positive stuff you're doing at your school and with your basketball program. Keep your work up, keep the good work up, man. Whatever you're doing in the community, keep yourself strong in the community. Keep yourself strong in your school. Let your kids see you out there in the, wherever in the hallways or whatever. Just don't be sitting in your office and be a chairperson. Get out there, man. And these kind of stuff that helped me. I know it helped like Coach Ron, Coach Tim, and other coaches out there, man. Do you see yourself in the next couple of years? I'm not saying moving to another school, or as coaching on another level.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And that's because I believe in the work that I put in.
Right. Right.
Work that I put in, and the work will always speak for itself. But most definitely myself, going to the next level.
This is a key question. I had that written down, and I'm glad Coach Tim brought it up. And I'm going back to something. Are you connected with your recreation center real strong, or what kind of relationship y'all have with your recreation center?
Yeah, I'm connected with my rec center. I host basketball camps, so I do my basketball camps there, and being able to get as many kids in the community to come out, and play, especially girls in our community. Basketball is not like a first option for a lot of kids in the area, but I want to make it an option, make it an avenue. So I'm definitely in the community. I teach at the elementary school, so I have a lot of kids, be able to come out to our camps and being able to be a part of it. And I also go to their games. So they different sports and things that they go to, I make sure I go and support them, because when you come to coaching, it's bigger than, just.
Oh, yeah. That's why I think I got out of it. I've been in as long as I was. I've been in for 20-something years. And it may not look like it, but I'm a 50-year-old man, and God knows it hurts in the morning time. But one more question I want to ask you, Coach. I know that Copic is still around, and is affecting a lot of the football teams now in high school that they can't play, because I know my former high school, Coach Ron, no, I'm not coming back to coaching, but but anyway, with this COVID actually is getting stronger, and we hoping that the numbers will go down, and hope everybody, I'm not even getting on the vaccinated stuff, but do you see yourself, do you see your season this year being tapped again, or are you going to just think about, I'm just going to think positive, and we're going to stop, all over and have a great season, because, you got to prepare yourself for this, and you got to prepare yourself for that, and you got to have a plan A and plan B now, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you can, start your 20 days. You don't know if you can start, playing the Thanksgiving too. You just don't know, tell me as a coach, Coach Zack, what are you preparing yourself for now?
Well, right now I'm preparing for the season. So we're doing everything to go full tilt, and expecting everybody to be there, full tilt. as everything is, I like to say normal. So like everything is, going according to plan. And as you know, things may happen, but
Right.
as coaching is always about making adjustments. You got to
That's
make
right.
adjustments,
That's right. That's right.
adjustment, or whatnot. With the goals still being the same, but also you just kind of monitoring, adjusting, the way you get there. So it's
Good.
it's we preparing, for a healthy season. I hope everyone has a healthy season. I hope everyone get to play all the games that they have scheduled. But most definitely, we preparing to have a great season.
Good, man. Well, Coach, man, I am so glad to have you on. I know you just got from football practice with your son and everything. You want to wind down and spend some time with your son, our family. And again, I thank you so much, man, for coming on, man. I really, really was trying my hardest to get you on last week. There was just so much
Yeah.
going on, and I was so tired last week, and I had so much going on too. So I was like, you know what? I'll just give him a break, and we'll stop back, next week. And when I called you, you were ready to go, man. I really appreciate you, man. Really do.
Man,
And
no problem.
yeah, like again, man, do you have any closing remarks that you want to say about your program, about anything that you got going on or coming up?
Okay. Well, I wanted to answer Coach Ballman's question that he had in the comments. You know, he
Go
was
ahead.
asking. Yeah, he asked me how did I promote themselves, how did my players promote themselves, to the colleges. So what I did is I have my players, okay, give me 3 colleges that that they would be interested in playing in. And I created a template because I teach my players on how to talk to college coaches. So I created a template to where they say their name and the player they are, scores and all those things, and attach their highlights to the email. So
Yes.
I get the email from the school, and their job is to reach out to them because they have to sell themselves to the coach, and that's a relationship they have to build on his own. So that's how they was able to promote themselves because that's what they wanted to do. That's the places that they wanted to go. They
Right.
had to talk. They had to talk to the people, to be able to get there.
Right.
And that's how they was able to build their relationship from there, and they made a decision from there. So
That's a good point, man. That's a great point. You said that I did that a couple years ago, and I did that with a student of mine a couple years ago, and it was kind of funny, man, because I told her, how if a coach want to come talk to you or interview, because when this young lady, every time that she was talking to you, her hands is there, like, hey, coach, I'm just telling you, man, yo, you know what I'm saying, coach? I said, young lady, listen, because I don't want to call her name, but I said, listen, you can't talk with your hands. Put your hands in your lap, calm yourself down, and talk to the coach. I said, so right now, I'm going to bring one of the assistant coaches in here, and I want you to talk to her. This is how you would talk to a college coach. And she was
yeah,
doing good for like 5 seconds. She said, but let me tell you something, coach. It's like this here, I was
yeah,
like, man.
yeah.
But she turned out to be a great kid. She went to college, played basketball for, I think, 2 years. And then, she ended up, stopped playing because she just lost, love of it. But again, coach, man, I am so happy to have you on, man. And I am so happy to see these young coaches, man, got that fire in them and keep that fire going. But I always tell coaches this right here. A lot of coaches sometimes tell me, man, don't tell them guys that, listen, man, don't burn yourself out so early. Don't
Mm-hmm.
burn yourself out. You remember, you got a kid, you got a family, you got, things that you want to do that. I know you love basketball. I know you want to get in the gym. I know you want to get better, but you got to take out some time for that. You got to take out time for your son. You got to take
Mm-hmm.
out time, first of all, for your health, because you can get out there and grind all day long. You can grind all night long, and then when you get home, you're tired. You are no good to your team or to your family, because Tim Baldwin just hit it out, getting ready to say, family first, guy. It's got to be family first. You know, my kids, man, they grew up so fast, and when they were high school, and when they got to high school, they were graduating. I'm thinking, oh my God, my son is graduating, and I got 4 kids, and they graduate so fast. And I got my last one in school this year, and they're graduating so fast because I was coaching 3 sports for 20-something years. I was coaching football, basketball, and baseball.
Oh
And,
yeah,
and,
yeah,
and I was burnt out with it.
yeah,
Yeah. And by the time my son was playing football, I go to the game. I get to the game. I'm basically falling asleep because I'm grinding, trying to coach other kids, and my kids are growing up so fast, man. But coach, I always tell you, man, grind, but just know how to grind. You got to
yeah,
slow yourself down, slow your
yeah.
pace, man. Because I'm telling you, without
It's
your
about,
health and your family and everything like that, you're no good to coaching.
yeah,
There's no use for you to try to coach him and you're not 100%.
yeah,
And I always tell coaches all the time too, man. Listen, you're gonna have problems. Things gonna come up. If I know any coach out there just perfect out there, they're just telling you a lie. And, you can talk to
yeah,
any experienced coach out there. They'll tell you, man, there's some days that you do not, coach. You don't even want to go in the gym. You do not. And God knows I've been there, coach, where I had driven an hour and 15 minutes to get to practice on a day, coach. And I ride up to the gym, and I was like, you know what? I don't feel like this today. I don't. But I go in there and I just go through the motions. And then I look at it. I said to myself, I am so wrong because I just cheated these kids out of, practice.
hmm
And I feel like I would never ever do that again. And Coach, man, like I say, man, again, I thank you so much for being here on Sports Talk Show Live. And like I said, we're gonna download this to YouTube. And again, man, if you ever need me, or any of these coaches, out there that you need some something that goes on, and you think you need some help or anything, reach out. I can reach out to any one of these coaches. You got experience like Coach Charles, Coach Tron, Coach Tim Baldwin. I don't coach no more. Only thing I can tell you is, man, keep your head above water, man. Hey, this retirement is the best thing I think I ever did. I want to get back into it. I just don't know how or when I'm going to do it. But Coach Tim always tell me, never say never, man. But,
You still got that. You still got.
yeah, but again, man, I thank you, man. And like I said, if you have anything that you want to say to anybody out there, man, you can in this last 2 or 3 minutes here, Coach.
Oh, well, I just want to, first off, I want to be able to, thank you again for having me
No
on.
problem, man.
I truly appreciate it. And I want to shout out everybody, just everyone that's, going through, this world, this pandemic. So I want everybody to be safe, be healthy. And I want everybody to do what they love and love what they do for
There
and
you
with
go,
the
Coach.
people that
There
they
you go.
love.
Now,
Yeah,
Coach,
that's
I want to make sure that I get a schedule from you because I want to come up here on a Saturday to watch your team play. So make sure you get me a schedule, and I want to get up there and I want to see y'all play. It's hard for me to get there during the week coming over from Somerville, but I can't get there on Saturdays. And then
okay.
y'all say y'all play early, so that really would be a great thing if I can get back. So you make sure, Coach, I get that schedule from you, all right?
All right, we'll do.
All right, man. I appreciate it so much, man. You have a good night, man, and a good
All right, you
season.
do. All right, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Again, that was Coach Zack Green from South Aiken High School. And now I got the legend coming on. Let me see if I can get him on. Let me see. Tim, I'm sending you that request right now, Tim. I mean, you can get on and we can go at it. I'm sending you that request now, Coach Baldwin, and as soon as you tag on me, you can go at it. And again, y'all, thank you all for tuning in to the Sports Talk Live show here with Coach P. I'm waiting on Coach Tim. Yeah, Tron, we're gonna roll out the red carpet for him. As soon as he tag on here, I just sent him a request here, so he's gonna tag in, and we're gonna get started with Coach Baldwin. So, Tron, if you can call him or text him and tell him I'm waiting on him to come on. I see my good buddy Coach Charles. What's up, buddy? Good seeing you, man. Again, yeah, thank you all for tuning in, man. I tell you, without y'all fans out there looking and because when I used to coach before, we didn't have this stuff right here for us, doing interviews and stuff like that. I did this coming home one night. I thought about doing this thing. So, man, I'm really gonna uh, put this thing together. But it's been a great um, Hold on, Tim. Let me send it to you one more time, Tim. See if I can try it one more time. All right, Coach Tim, I'm sending it to you one more time. There you Hey, hold on a second, Coach. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Humba, humba. I got the legend on the floor.
What? What's up? You see where I'm at? I'm laying on the floor.
You laying on the floor?
That's my spot, man. That's my wine.
You didn't. Wait a minute, Coach. You didn't pay your furniture bill this month or what, man? Come on, man. What are you doing?
Heck no, man. I got a nice furniture bill, but dogs up there and stuff like that. This is my spot. When you grow up with 3 brothers and 3 sisters, man, this is your spot. So inside, man, this is where I wind down every night. I eat dinner and then roll to the floor, and then I don't know, it's weird, but being the baby of the children, man, you just your spot was on the floor growing up, and now I just become comfortable, but that's where I'm at. So yeah, man. So what's going on?
Man, I am so happy to have you on, man. I really was trying to get you a show by yourself, but it's great. Honestly, I was trying to get you a show where I was going to get you by yourself. We was going to do one live with me and Tron was going to get you live, and we was going to do a show. But I don't think the cameras are big enough for the spotlight up there because, when you got Coach Tim Baldwin on the show, I know my show is legit now. Bam, it's legit. It's legit now because I got Coach Baldwin on now. I'm good now. I'm good.
Got some good guys. I see the young coach you got just interviewed there from South Aiken, and Tron, Charles get on every week. And, for me, sometimes I forget the day of the week. I was scrolling Facebook and I saw, I said, oh, okay, cool. I caught it early, So it's cool, man. It's just something that we talk basketball. We could talk about, experiences, that kind of thing, and just talk, whatever, and that's kind of cool. And, you get some ideas, these other guys that are starting to coach and are maybe been in it for a little bit and kind of in a rut. I mean, we all get in ruts. And so sometimes you got to see a former player or a former coach or something like that to kind of rekindle the fire and say, hey, I'm still got the juice to want to do this, because it can be very tiring. I mean, we're just now starting, and I was telling Calvin today, I said, I'm trying to get motivated to start practicing basketball at the school, because we're very fortunate right now. We have varsity sports, so we do workouts during school, and I said, man, I'm just trying to get fired up about going after school, because we don't get out of school at 4 o'clock, and then, you don't get started till about probably close to 4:30, hour and a half. You're looking at 6 o'clock, and it's a 30-minute ride home, and you know how it is. I mean, that's a grind, man. And
it is.
And like you said, that was great advice you told the coach from South Aiken, where, every once in a while you got to slow down and just take a chill day, man, because it's not when I was, like I said, I was doing football and basketball, and I said, man, this is too much, because I was going from football practice straight into basketball practice each night when it overlapped. By January, man, I was spent. I mean, I was. You're talking terminology like, hey, you guys got to hold the field down, and you're inside on the basketball court. And I can imagine, when you said you did 3 sports, I did that for a little bit when I first started coaching, but not for 20-something years. That would just, man, that's a lot. And people say, well, if it's what you like to do, that's fine, but still, if you want to do it right, it takes a lot out of you. Like you said, not just to mention the sport itself, but just everything that goes around it. Working with young people and helping them deal with their problems, and every day you just don't know if someone's going to have something going on you got to deal with, and that's where that guidance counselor degree comes in. And so it's very draining sometimes. I mean, it's something you love to do,
right,
got to do, but I tell people all the time, I say, when the game starts each night, that's when I get to rest, because it's just basketball.
Right, that's right. You're right.
And I mean, you don't have to set the chairs up, roll the bleachers out, all that kind of stuff, or worry about who's, selling hot dogs in a concession stand. It's just about basketball and trying to compete, which that's what you're trying to do anyway. So
right. Coach, I've been watching you coach a long time, and I remember when we started playing each other at Collin County, me and Coach Coach Loggenslager was coaching then,
right.
And I remember, Goose Creek was on the rise. Y'all coming, and you had a young lady, I forgot her name. She was the spotlight of your team, and this was back 2005 or somewhere back in there, and that's when I think we started back playing y'all when me and Jason was coaching together.
Is that Sierra? Sierra?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that right there it became a rivalry because Goose Creek was, like I said, they were coming and they were beating everybody here in the Low Country, playing hard, and that's what Coach L and I was trying to put into Collin County basketball team. And it just worked out. It worked out that we played each other a couple of times. And I kept saying every time I was like, man, what did he do to get all these good athletes to come to this school or get them to come out? And you said the key word was the rec center.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's simple.
All kidding aside, man, after my, Calvin Davis and I started out together. And then after our first year, Miss Linda Wright came up to us and said, hey, do you mind if I come work out with the team or, help or whatever? And we're like, sure, no problem. And then not really knowing how important that was for us because this is year 20 for her and helping coach girls basketball with us now. And she is by far the foundation. I tell people all the time, I said, how you doing? I said, you see that lady over there sitting in the bench? I said, that's Miss Linda, the fair lady. I said, she goes out and she's like, like we are in a sense of she cares about kids. But the thing is, she gets it when they're 5, 6, 7 years old. And there'll be times when she'll be doing the JV team, the varsity team, and she'll coach 2 or 3 rec league teams at the same time. Wow. And you talk about somebody who spends the whole 7 days there. I mean, she does rest on Sundays now. I mean, that's her church time and her family time. Right. 6 days a week, man, she's doing something with basketball. And there's times when we'll have a varsity game that starts at 7. She'll go, I will be here right at game time, but I got my game from 5:30 to whatever. And I'm like, who are you coaching? She goes, I'm coaching the little ones. And, since we started our we call it a middle school team, but it's probably 5th through 7th grade or for us, 4th through 6th grade. And we started that because we felt like we needed to get more of the kids that are more focused, I guess. And they want to practice every day. Some kids, they just want to practice a couple days a week, which is a rec league player, which is fine. But, we identify those players and get them in our program, and we just build from there. But every year, at the beginning of the year, we always laugh. I'm like, I Miss Linda. I said, did you find anybody? She goes, yeah, I found like 3 or 4. So she'll find 3 or 4 a year and then bring them through the middle school team. And then, we'll get a couple of kids who, we pick up, from the middle schools. I mean, we have, multiple middle schools now that feed into our school, and the kids do a good job. I always say, hey, man, I said, when we're doing the first days of open season, I'm like, do you guys know of anybody at your school? Especially younger kids. I'm like, do you see any big girls? Are they tall? Like, are they interested in playing? I said, well, they never played before. We're like, we don't care. See if they're interested in playing, and then let's just get them out here, and then we'll go from there, and we'll teach them. But it's just finding the kids who want to be out there, parents who want to support them, and then go from there. I mean, this year, it's been funny because I have probably 5 girls now that I've coached their parents, and so, but it's one of those things to where, people have stayed in our community and, now they're, bringing their kids through and they know what it takes to be successful. And so it makes our job a little bit easier.
Right.
They understand too that, when you say, hey, we're going to practice every day, from, 6 to 8 or whatever, they have them there. Hey, we're going to play AAU tournaments. They have them there. So it's not just a kid commitment. It's a parent commitment. And it takes work. It takes money. They got to, especially for AAU to, they pay, the fees or tournament fees. And they obviously spend money, paying for hotels. But it's one of the things to where, one, it's helping your child not only grow as a basketball player, but as a person. And it's proven to make them stronger in the classroom, that kind of thing. So, most of our kids, I would say probably 98% of our kids, you don't have to worry about any academic issues at all, because they have parent involvement. And also, too, they're just good kids. So they want to do well. So they're motivated to do well in everything. And we stress on them from day one, it's got to be academics first, and then basketball second, because basketball is just a game. It's going to end one day and you got to go get a job and that kind of thing. And, anybody will tell you that if it's all about basketball, it's not going to be what you want it to be, because, basketball is not going to be where you want it to be all the time. So if you're not that person with or without it, then, you can't just be on there when everything's good and dandy. You got to be able to deal with the hard times too, because, that's life.
Right.
People are going to have issues, and you got to be able to deal with it. And, sometimes that makes you stronger, so, and if you can't handle that, then you don't have the skills to be successful, because you and I both know we learn more when we lose games than when we win.
There you go. You're right. You're right.
And that's just saying, hey, I dealt with it and I fought through it, and I came out on the other side and made me a better person, that I'm not going to let that happen again. So,
Coach, I want to ask you a key question. I remember a couple of years ago, you had a young lady that played for you that went to USC and played for the Gamecock.
Alicia Welch.
Lisa Webb. Did she win a national championship with them that first year they won it?
No.
Okay.
They played. I think she got into the Final Four. I think that's when it was down to maybe Tampa. I think it's a long time ago. I can't remember so much, but yeah, she was. They were pushing it, but they didn't make it to the championship. I think they got into either the Final Four or the Elite Eight, and they were close. They were knocking on the door, and then
Right.
of course, right after that is when they went over and finally got the national championship.
I have seen you. I haven't seen all your girls that you have coached since you've been coaching, but I've seen a lot of them good ones that come out of there. And you had matter of fact, you had a couple last year and year before last. And but I tell you what, this summer, Coach, I came to Somerville to watch some summer basketball, and I had a day off, and I was like, well, I'm gonna ride both gyms to see it. And I was trying to catch one of your games. And I happened to catch one of your games before I walked in there, and your girls were sitting down in the stands. And, Coach, I'm telling you, this guy that rode with me, man, he was sitting there. He said, who's this little team over here? I said, well, let me see. And I said, that's Coach Baldwin's team, Goose Creek. He said, man, they're little. I said, but let me tell you something. Look over there and look at them right now. Just look at them. They are focused. They're not on their phones doing all kind of crazy stuff. They might have their headphones on, but look what they're doing. They're paying attention to the game. Yeah. And when your team coach got on the floor, and a lot of people, that don't coach and don't understand, you don't have to have the biggest team in the world.
Right.
You got to have some girls with some heart and some discipline. And I'm telling you, man, Coach, hats off to you, man. You had those little girls organized for the summer. And the guy that wrote me to the game was saying, man, they must be playing together a long time. I said, man, it's hard to explain to you. I said, this guy over here, it's like a magic wand, man. He throws it out there, man, and it comes. So, man, I don't want to see that team in the next 3 or 4 years. I'm glad I ain't coaching no more. I do not want to play that team in the next year or so. I better say it like that, because they're going to be something to reckon with.
Biggest thing with that, is this, Perry, is I talk about is, not one person ever does it by themselves,
Right.
And you look at a lot of those kids too, and there were some kids over there that I have coached their parents, so they obviously had influence on them. They spent the time with them as well. So it's a combination of, they're getting coaching obviously in the AAU teams as well, but also too putting it in with what we're doing, and so they're expected to play at a high level, whether they're big, small, or whatever. We tell them all the time, we don't care how good you are. We want to know if you're going to, stand up and battle somebody, and do it the right way. And so the size will eventually catch up. And we always say that, we can't make you go in there and want to battle someone. That's something you got to have the want to. So if you got the want to, we can find everything else out, and then the weight room will come. That'll bring your size to you. Just getting older will come with that, and that kind of thing. And so just one of those things, like Tron was saying, right there, commitment is just, they want to be good. We got good, parent support. I got a great coaching staff. We all work them out together. And like I said, this year we finally got the varsity sports back to where now we're back in the weight room and, conditioning and then doing skill work as well. So it's just about the whole process. People can't say it's about the process. And I think the thing that I like the most about it is the fact that we share with everyone, and we want everybody to do the same thing. We want everybody to say, hey, we're in this together. And I pull for everybody's kids, man. And because if they're all successful, that's less people we have to worry about when they finish out of high school to be good citizens, man. And if they go to college and get a free education, guess what? That's a bonus for everybody.
That's right. Yeah.
When it comes down to it, you're looking at the Low Country, not just Goose Creek basketball or Colony County or anybody like that. Even Somerville, we do it because we love kids.
Right. Right.
And that kind of thing. I mean, I enjoy like with the AAU because I'm a coach with Emily Bealglide. She was at James Allen High School. She and I coached the 6th grade team together. Then you got Charles is also out there with us, and he's coaching one of the groups. Then we got Calvin from Somerville who's coaching one of the groups, and then we got Kelly McNeil from Stratford's out there. So, we got a lot of people who spend their time, I guess, off, you would say, off season, to kids, not only their kids, but all the kids. And I think we genuinely love all kids as far as wanting to push them, make them better, as long as they want that. And that's what I like about being in this area is the fact that I think we all have the same goal in together because of the fact that we all want them to be successful. Now, when we play each other now, we all want to win.
Yeah, I believe that.
When it's all said and done, it makes it a little bit, I don't say easier, but you're happy for both sides because if they play hard and that kind of thing, somebody's got to lose the game. But you teach them how to handle that and to respect each other because it's competition.
Right.
So I enjoy
with obviously I'm not gonna talk about last year with the COVID stuff going on with the season. Right. This year, are they gonna let y'all get back to normal now as far as how everything's going, or are they still gonna do some different things with the season this year?
Well, as far as I understand, we're gonna, right now it's pretty much gonna be wide open. We got a full schedule. I know the high school league limit the number of like scrimmages and jamboree. I think you can have 2 scrimmages and 1 jamboree. But as far as full schedule, and really last year we kind of adapted things and moved things around as far as playing the same team in the same week or whatever.
Right.
We don't have that in place right now. But the good thing is we've done things like that last year. So I'm thinking if some things like that do occur, we do have some idea how to move quickly.
Right.
And that was the biggest issue with me last year is every time you turn around, it was change. And people don't understand is if you change a game or you change this or change that, there's a bunch of people you got to call and change it with.
Right.
So my biggest concern was making sure that we are consistent and to make sure that we have a plan in place going into it. And I tell people all the time, I said, talk to your ADs or whatever, saying, hey, we're willing to play these games without fans because we can video stream it now, and just everything that needs to be like an action plan. This is what we're going to do because bottom line is we want the kids to play the game and to be safe, and, last year with our team, we was just so, I told myself I was ready to get off the roller coaster. I want to get off, because I was not having fun because I was spending so much time dealing with other stuff. And then every time you turn around and tell the kids who we're playing, we're playing this team, we're playing that team, and not knowing because no one really knew how to do it. So I'm hoping that us experiencing that has made us better and be able to plan some things. And also, too, I think that we can quickly, as a region or even as the 2 regions who play each other, be able to say, hey, this is what worked and let's go with this. So.
Wow.
But going through it last year was very tough, and now we should have.
I don't know. I just don't know how y'all did it, man. If I knew if that was me last year, coach, I'm telling you right now, y'all probably find me on a Cooper River Bridge getting ready to jump because I knew I would get a ticket.
Yeah, it was it was not fun, and I'm a very competitive person, but also to the point like, I don't want, you can do whatever, and it was just. People thought I was kidding when I said I'm done, and I said I'm over this. I said, and they said, well, can you play this Saturday? I'm like, you don't understand. I've already took the gear up. We're done. I said, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I said, because it wasn't fun, and just keeping the kids in the lingo, man, and then also to the parents, and you just didn't know what to tell them. And so, and I don't blame any person about that. Just, it was tough, and, but I think for the most part, man, just being able to have, the state championship weekend was awesome because we didn't miss it. I mean, other sports didn't need to have it the last year. We were able to
Right.
finish out basketball.
Right.
Then baseball, the spring stuff got cheated a little bit, but at least we didn't miss it. We didn't miss a rotation, so that was pretty good. But I think that it gives us something to talk about as coaches now and that kind of thing. And so hopefully, if everybody does what they're supposed to do, and that kind of thing, we can limit things, and hopefully have a little bit more stable season, I guess, as you would call it.
I got you.
And so on. But it is what it is, and like I said, we're still moving, so we keep grinding and go from there. So.
Well, Coach, I want to ask you a question before I go, before we log off. I said I'd never, and you said it, my wife always tell me all the time, stop saying you'll never coach again.
Yeah.
Tim, I was working today, and I was at about 3 seconds, man, it hit me. I was like, oh, my God, basketball season on the way. And I'm thinking, damn it, I'm not coaching anymore. It hit me for like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Basketball season around the corner. And when the guys on the job asked me, say, so you going to leave us and go back to coaching? I was just like, nah, that 3 seconds done gone. But,
yeah,
with this, all this pandemic stuff going on and changing of schedule, I'm a type of person, Coach, when I'm ready to do something, I'm ready to run smooth. Now, I know there's going to be some bumps in the road. And like last year, and I kept, I kept you in mind. I kept all these coaches in mind. Like, man, it is tough for y'all, man. That's tough. It's tough. And I just don't wish that on nobody to say, to go through what y'all went through last year, because, trying to, get the team ready to play Cane Bay this week. And then all of a sudden, Monday, you can't play Cane Bay, you got to find somebody else to play. That's cool, man.
Yeah. But, in a crazy sense, maybe not to that level, but it teaches kids or show kids actually that everything ain't going to be the same thing every day. You got to be able to adjust. And it's like, I passed by these cars today, and there was a real bad wreck on, I guess it's Rivers Avenue down by Otranto. And the car was flipped on its side. And I said, those folks didn't go to work today thinking they was going to get in a car wreck. And it's one of the things to where you say, okay, is everybody okay? Is everybody safe? Priority. Then you start prioritizing everything, saying, is everybody safe? And you say, okay, well, what's next? Well, I got to get my car fixed. I got to call my boss. And so that's kind of like what we did last year, whereas, okay, what do we do and how do you handle it? And so it gave the kids an opportunity to experience real life situations to where, you got to make the best of the situation and go on from there. And then sometimes you have to say, hey, man, we're got to get off this ride. It's just, it was a tough decision, but also too is those are things they have to face when they get older. So I think the kids handle it pretty good. I mean, as far as dealing with everything, and they always did pretty much what we asked them to do. And so my hats came off to them. I thought they was, pretty solid for the most part. Until
Coach,
the whole group.
This is one question I wanted to ask you too, and it's going to sound funny, but it's a serious question.
Okay.
You as a head coach at Goose Creek, and all the good teams that you have in the last years and years, do you know as a coach of that, you have the itchy feeling like, you know what, I'm going to win the state championship this year? Or do you come in every year? I know you don't come in every year to say, oh, I'm going to win the state championship. But these teams that you have every year that compete for the state championship, do you have in your mind is that feeling that, this is your year to win it right here?
I mean, you come in, we won the 3 out of the 4. I knew you look at the talent and then the ages of your players, and you kind of gauge around people around you, say, okay, this is a team to beat, this is a team to beat. And so you say, hey, I got a shot, and that kind of thing. But you still got those obstacles you got to get through. And you and I both know, man, I don't care how good you are.
Yeah.
I mean, you're one, injury away to doing this, and then you're like, okay, so, we won state at least twice, maybe 3 times at one point, and we're talking just a free throw here and there. And so, but you knew you had a squad. Now, I'll tell you, the last one we won in 2020, dude, I knew like I said, we were so thin. I knew we had the 4 seniors that were solid, but I was just like, I don't know. It's that group right there impressed me the most. Seriously, they blew my mind, because I tell you what, once we got to a point where we had to lead on you in the fourth quarter, you wasn't getting it back. They And the further we got along in the playoffs, the more focused they got. And it came to the point to where in our locker room, I would put up the starting lineup, and then I'd have the kids each day. You would see more and more writing up there about who the players were. So the players were doing it. So they were watching game film. You pay money to pay for huddle, and you say, "Hey kids, why are we doing this if you're not watching the game film?" That's when they're dialed in.
Wow.
And that kind of thing. And so the senior leadership was mind blowing, and just everybody bought in, man. And that group surprised me because I thought, okay, we're going to be okay, but to win a state championship, yeah, I was impressed with them, and it all comes down to the leadership of those seniors and just the type of kids. If you were to know those kids, man, I mean, they were good ball players, but they're just solid individuals, and they supported each other. And when it came playoff time, they locked in, man, and they was focused. So, but yeah, there was a couple times I knew we had a pretty good squad and that kind of thing. You're coming in with 4 players at 5'10" or 5'12", well, 5'12", 6 foot tall, and you got hard play to go with it. I mean, you knew you had a squad. And to be honest with you, too, sometimes it's a lot of pressure because you're like, hey, man, if we're not winning by this, you put more pressure on yourself. So it's kind of, I don't say it's nice, but we got some kids coming down that are going to be on the learning curve, I guess. But I like the fact that we're going back to when I first started coaching and maybe not being the favorite. We're going to have to be the underdog. So I'm okay with that, because that way to every little thing you get, you work for it, and it makes it that more valuable to you.
Gotcha, man.
So,
Coach, man, listen, I need you to do me one favor, though.
What's that?
I need you to get me a coaching shirt from Goose Creek. Don't
All
let
right.
Coach Tron, I don't want Coach Tron to hear it. Just between me and you now. And, now, I can walk around. I'm going to go to different games like in Colleton and Hampton and stuff. And they was like, oh, you coaching now? Yeah, I'm coaching with Coach Baldwin over at Goose Creek now.
Hey, man, you got to drive the bus or something. I mean,
No.
You got to put something to the bank, man. You can't get a withdrawal without a deposit. Yeah.
I am enjoying what I'm doing right now. Doing some live at sports talk and coming to watch some games. And about 2 minutes left in the game, if it ain't close, I'm easy right on out the door. And I was like, Coach, man, listen, I thank you so much, man, for coming on, man. I know it's a last minute thing, man, but listen.
No, it's good. Love it.
This is not our official interview here now. This is not our official interview. Me, you, and Coach Tron, we're going to do one live. No, Coach Tron, I'm not keeping stats. No. I'm going to coach with Coach Baldwin before I leave this, before he's retired. I'm going to coach with Coach Baldwin. I'm going to sit on the sideline. So that's just done said, Tron. But, Coach, this is not our official live interview with me, and you, and Coach Tron. We actually going to set one up live, but I was trying to wait that this COVID stuff to die down a little bit, and then we can meet somewhere and we can do one live if that's all right with you.
Hey, speaking on a side note too, man, I just wanted talk about Paul Rooney a little bit. I know he's been fighting COVID himself. I read in the paper, Calvin sent it to me, man. But you're talking about a true legend. This guy's won 700-800 games. I mean, just astronomical wins and what he's done at Bishop England, man. And just really, he's been on my mind a lot just because he's just one of those guys that's has mentored me and that kind of thing. I look up to him a lot. And, thinking about him and making sure that he's doing okay. Because I know he's dealt with a lot from, a family matter. His wife passed away, I think, a little over a year ago now. And so, just thinking about him and just, like you said, all that he's done for girls and, just athletics in general and just, thinking about him, man, and just everybody know that he hopefully, he'll pull through this thing and get through and all that stuff. But he's been on my mind and that kind of thing. We talk about legends, definitely he's up there, man. He's one of the top guys. He's just a great guy. He's always looked out for me. And so, yeah, just been thinking a lot about him lately.
Now, that's Coach Rooney from Bishop Link, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, we sure will, man. We sure will.
Yeah.
My wife does a talk show called Uplifted with Mo, and it's a spiritual show, and I'm gonna make sure she add her name to add his name to the list for prayer, and then we would do it here on because I was trying to figure out, Coach, how I'm gonna put this prayer thing on my coach's show, but I'm going to talk to Coach Tron, and we're going to talk about some things, and we're going to add some more different future to the show, and it's going to be a lot more professional what I'm doing now. I'm just home chilling right now, but Coach, man, I tell you, I've just been waiting on my time to interview with you, and like I said, I wanted to do it live, and we're going to do it live, and I know it's a short notice, but I appreciate it so much for you coming on, man. And get up off of that floor, man, and get on the chair on the bed, man.
I'm about to roll. See my pillow right here? That's where I'm going right there. Hey, but seriously, man, I know you want to make some changes, but don't get too formal. It's got to be bit sports talk. I mean, I like Marty. I think it's called Marty and McGee or whatever. Back, I don't know, one of them smoking a cigar or something, but it's just dudes talking sports and people, man. Don't get too easy. Just let it. Hey, it's got to be you.
That's right, Coach. That's right. And that's why, man, I'm telling you, Coach, that's why I'm glad I got people like you, Coach Tron, DA, people like that, and Coach Davis, friends like that, and tell me, man, listen, just stay the way you're doing it, just be you. And what you just say that right there, you just confirmed it, man, and it's awesome, when people tell you things, you think, I don't know if that's true. But then you just confirmed the whole conversation right there, and I appreciate it, man. And I was going to dress up in a pimp suit one day and come and do it. It's going to be Bonnie and Clyde. Coach Tron was going to be in a white suit, and I was going to be in a pink suit, and we was going to pop up, and we were going to say we're going to do an interview. We're going to come to your house and do an interview.
You might do that like Night Madness or something,
Yeah.
Night Madness, the first night of basketball. That's what you ought to do. You ought to try.
Hey, listen. Hey, it's coming. If you said it, Coach, me and Coach Tron will put it together.
All right. I feel you on that one.
All right, man. I appreciate it so much, Coach, man. Like I said, I'll get back with you probably in the next couple of weeks or so and let you know.
All right, man. Peace out.
Have a good night. All right, Coach.
All right, bye-bye.
Woo! What an awesome show, man. What an awesome show, man. Hey, again, I just love doing what I'm doing here with the Sports Talk Show, man. Again, I want to thank Coach Zack Green from South Aiken High School for coming on, and then I tag in Coach Tim Baldwin, and with my co-host Coach Tron putting his thing down to the bottom, man. Coach Tron, again, dog, I appreciate you so much, man. Much love. And we're gonna get together and we're gonna put this thing together with Tim, man. Because I'm telling you, I got a feeling that something gonna come good out of this, man. Because the things that some of these coaches are saying, if some of you would just listen, you got coaches that done won state championships, over and over and over, and won region title over and over and over. So, man, just thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for tuning in. And again, this is your boy Coach P here with Sports Talk Live here in the big town of Somerville. If you want to send me an email and get on my show, you can send it through Messenger, or you can send it to sportstalkcoachp@gmail.com. You can also you can go on YouTube and look at the past coaches I had and the ones that I got coming up. Sports Talk Live with Coach P on YouTube. Again, I want you all to have a good night. Have the rest of the week. I hope you have a great week and a blessed week. And like AV waiting on me to say this. AV, here you go. This is your boy, Coach P. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Good night.